What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we're doing a little different for this video. I got a special guest, my good friend Trey Venture,
Gang, gang,
aka
what's good?
Mr. Cater Chaos, aka Fleazy, Captain America, Will Knight himself.
Yep,
All them
all them
aliases.
things. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Trey Venture. How you doing today?
We're doing good, doing good. Why don't you take a second if you want to introduce yourself a little bit and talk about what you do here on YouTube and Twitch and everything?
Dang, YouTube and Twitch. All right. I'm Trey from Catered Chaos, a YouTube group that goes over some of the things that came out in the world of entertainment week to week and give you our thoughts, comments, questions, concerns about them. We do a lot of stuff over there, from reacting to trailers to playing some video games. We're a group of six, but we're a fearsome group. We made our first 1,000 this year,
Yeah.
and we on the road to 10K. But I also do my own YouTube stuff, hashtag Trey Venture or TVR exclusive over on most of the socials and stuff. You can catch me where I talk about some of the things in your favorite fandoms and give you my thoughts on them as somebody that does short form content, and then we'll make it into long form content if you decide that you want to see that from me. I've talked things like the Arrowverse, comics. I'll talk horror, especially when October hits. That is for sure happening. I don't care what else is going on. It's getting out there one way or another. I like a diverse amount of stuff. Sci-fi, dramas, like Power or Atlanta and stuff like that. You name it, I pretty much have a thirst for it as a story writer. I like to do breakdowns of all the things that you like and tell you why you like them.
But yeah, he kind of mentioned also talking about the story aspects, and on this channel, I talk a lot about storytelling. But Trey himself
Hmm.
is also a very very talented script narrative. Short film and narrative film writer. We have actually collaborated a lot. We went to film school together, and we have done a
Hmm.
lot of short films and trailer recreations together and other stuff.
Yeah.
And we're actually currently working on a whole other show called Humanities together as well.
This man dropping humanities out here.
So,
Okay,
I haven't
I
actually talked
like
about
it.
that on this channel, but yeah, that's what we're doing. So, I'll talk about that more as time goes on. But
Mm,
today, I had to get you out because I have this concept that I've been working on in my head. And
mm.
we like to talk concepts. I
Yep,
know,
yeah,
I
for sure.
know you did something similar where you were talking about uh, on one of your shorts. You were talking about like how you were talking about like what storytelling like is like in terms of like how Hollywood would try to produce it versus like
Hmm.
like the different types of stories. So you have like these different like thought processes that you'll do. So
Oh yeah, the storytelling formula. Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah.
exactly. So I kind of have another thing I want to throw at you, and if we can come out with a
Hmm.
formula, you're the perfect person to help me finish fleshing out this concept I'm working on. So if we can end this video with a formula, that would be dope. If not, it is what it is. But
Ooh, ooh. Okay, hold on. Let me.
so
I'll figure out something. Don't worry about it.
that's why I was like, this is the perfect person. So I kind of hit you up about this before, but the concept I've been throwing around in my head is I guess it's kind of a paradox or an issue that I feel like we run into sometimes with certain main characters in some of our most favorite TV shows, in movies, books,
Okay.
whatever. And that's almost like something I want to call like the force of nature character. So a
Okay.
lot of times I feel like we have the hero's journey, we have coming of age stories. We have all these different types of like lead character, main character, like journeys and character arcs you're supposed to go on. But
Hmm.
we've actually have never gone into full detail about the Halo TV show.
Yeah.
But we've
Yeah.
kind of
That's
we've
true. That's
we've
true.
we've kind of talked about it, and I've definitely given you my thoughts on it quite often. I've
Hmm.
ranted
You
quite a
you
bit.
sure have.
So
Yeah.
I kind of was just thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I feel like part of the problem with the Halo TV show was that it basically tried to humanize a character that should not
Hmm.
and possibly, I don't know, I won't say cannot be, but I think as we currently understand him and see him in video games at least. Not so I'm not talking so much about the expanded universe stuff and like the different books and things because I have not touched all those. I can't really speak on it, but it's coming from purely from the video game standpoints. With Master Chief, I
Hmm.
feel like the TV show tried to humanize him and in some ways even deconstruct him. And honestly, I think they did it way too early for one, that whole deconstruction arc of a character. Like he hadn't been established long enough for us watching him to even do that. But I feel like Master Chief is a character that will fall into the category of a force of nature.
Hmm.
And I'm going to take it, and I guess the character that we can use as like our starting point. And you can tell me if you think I'm off on this one, because I
Okay.
just finished rereading this book that probably a lot of us had to read when we were in high school, but Beowulf. I'm not sure if you ever had to read that in school.
Oh, okay. Oh, dang, that's a pull.
So I literally just finished reading this like last week. I was rereading it. So I was like, I'm gonna go back
Mm.
to it. So we're going old. I feel like Beowulf is one of the earliest forces of nature in fiction. Like you probably can go further, but
Hmm.
that's pretty far. Beowulf is pretty early on. Um, I haven't read the Odyssey in a long time, so I'd have to look back and see. I don't think I would say that about
Mm,
Odysseus necessarily.
Odysseus. Um,
I don't know that I would say
I
that
guess
about
it depends on
Odysseus.
how you look at it because Odysseus's thing is more like I feel like it depends on how you looked at it. Maybe when they were first crafting the narrative, you
Hmm.
could say that, but because it's been so deconstructed and it's used as like a literary device,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard for me to be like authentically how would I look at Odysseus's story.
Hmm.
Um if I weren't looking at it at an academic level, because the whole thing is being able to deconstruct it at an academic level for most
Right.
people.
Right.
Um, which is ironic because they're coming out with a movie for the Odyssey, so I guess we'll get to see
Good see.
how people feel about it like really soon,
Oh yeah.
of if he is that type of character. But I would say Hercules is a good example of like an
Okay.
older story
Okay.
that kind of fits somebody
Yeah.
who kind of feels like a force of nature. Like I get the whole humanization of Hercules or
Yeah.
Heracles is the main draw of his character, but like I feel like after the story of the Nemean lion, you kind of get to a sense of just like, man, y'all ain't stopping no Hercules. Yeah,
He's
that's just not happening.
he basically has ascended into that level, and I feel like that's kind of how, for one, Beowulf is that. Like when I'm reading the
Hmm.
story, I was like, this isn't a journey. I mean, you get to see him accomplish these feats. Him taking Grendel down, Grendel's mother. Uh, he's an old man fighting a dragon, and there's some off page stuff that happens that we hear about, that they mention, but we don't really see. And I also know that the story of Beowulf is not complete. That the book is not complete. It's only like a portion that was like salvaged or whatever. But
Yeah.
so I'm like, all right, this character, he does not grow and develop at all.
Hmm.
We see him dropped. He's like, I'm coming to take down that thing. I'm coming to do this thing, and that's it. So it's almost like
Yeah.
you get to experience him through the other characters. And that's how
Hmm.
I feel about Master Chief. Like when you look at all the games, Halo CE through Halo 4,
Hmm.
I mean, I feel like it's always this sense of like Master Chief is going to, he's here to basically do the thing. Like he's the one you send
Yeah.
out to go after the big bad, and the stakes are high. So it's not that it's not that he couldn't fail, but he has not failed yet. And I kind of
Right.
feel
Right.
like that's
Right.
like that type of, that's kind of like the basis for like a force of nature character I'm thinking about. We're not here to see them be built as a character. We're here to watch them at this point in their lives or their existence
Hmm.
when they just are this. Maybe they had backstory at some point, but the majority of what we consume them as, they are here as this established character, and they come at a certain
Yeah.
power level and they do the thing that needs to
Hmm.
be done essentially.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. It's funny because I'm actually trying to write out the formula as you're bringing up stuff. So the thing that really gets me is that I think the genre that most understands what you're talking about is the horror genre.
Okay.
And ironically, I think they're the ones that mess it up the most.
That's
I
funny.
think on paper, the horror genre has to have an understanding of this in order to make a character that is compelling enough for you to feel fear. They have to
Hmm.
give you that sense of there's no way out. Um, I don't know if we ever talked about this, but that's like the main driving wedge between horror and thrillers to me.
Hmm.
Thrillers give you an everyday situation that you have to critically think your way out of.
Okay.
Um, Whereas horror gives you an impossible situation that you have to try and survive.
Hmm.
So I would say that like main horror characters, your Freddy's, your Jasons, your Michael Myers, to a degree your Chucky's, um, they have to appear like they're unstoppable
Hmm.
by your conventional means. Whereas a thriller, it's like they can be stopped, but it's like, are you outthinking the villain or are they outthinking you?
Okay.
And that's how you
Hmm.
get your psychos, your I mean I can't think of other thrillers or your head, your strangers, um, which I would say is more of a thriller because it's like regular people
Hmm.
taking people out and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of like that. Um, but I would definitely love to hear non-horror characters that you also think fit because it's making me think of them in different ways.
Another example of someone who is like that, who oddly enough has a human element to them because you resonate
Hmm.
with them, but it's not like the character was being developed. You just resonate with them because of what happened, and that's John Wick in the first John Wick movie.
Mm,
So John
mm,
Wick, man is retired. Man is done. His story has been told. We're not supposed to know John Wick's story. John Wick said, "Look, man, I'm out the game. I got my car, got my house, I got my dog. Y'all leave me alone." Somebody decided to basically come and poke the bear. And now we got
yep.
a whole movie franchise we weren't supposed to have because we
Right.
weren't supposed to know who John Wick was. John Wick was
Hmm.
done. So the movie started at the end of his story. So everything we seeing now is post credits.
Yep.
We
Hmm.
got four post credit scenes basically of like one person or a group of people decided to mess with the wrong person, and he said, "All right, I guess I'm back." Because I remember even the
Yep.
scene afterward when this, like, the scene everyone knows about from the first John Wick, when the
Hmm.
crime boss son is calls one of his guys, and he's like, "Why'd you punch my son?" And he said, "Well, sir, I punched your son because he killed he killed John Wick's dog." And he
Yep.
said, "Oh." He's just like, "Yeah, so son, I'm sorry, but you're dead. I'm sorry."
Yep. Yep.
And so the rest of the movie is, I mean, that's a non-horror film.
For real.
The movie is surviving John Wick. That's what they could. That's what they could
Oh
have called that
gosh.
thing. So yeah,
No,
that's a.
you're not wrong.
So I mean, it's like when you think about it, it's like, dang. So he's an unstoppable force, and it's not about just building him up as like this character development or whatever we're trying to do. It's about seeing him go on his rampage, and you can't stop
Hmm.
him. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
True. True.
feel
It's
like
funny. I just sent you a thing. Sent you a text with what I think the formula is, and then we
okay.
can kind of talk about it. But I think John Wick is a really good example because he's a great version of a character that you get to see the background with,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of just feel like he's supposed to be this unbeatable force
Right.
that never will really stop.
So I see the formula you sent.
Hmm.
Let's see. You want to try to break it down for the peoples?
Oh yeah. I can do a little something, something. You tell me if it like. We'll see if it makes sense. I'll put it
Okay.
that way. All right. So to make a force of nature character, I think the formula has to be the foe that they're facing, like
Mm,
whatever the adversity is, the foe, the adversity, divided by or over top of the narrative times characterization. Not characters themselves, but characterization within the story of like who does what.
okay.
Um, what things need to be achieved. So if I'm looking at it from the perspective of Halo, um, let's remove Master Chief from the equation. The
Hmm.
foe is the Covenant.
Yeah.
Um, the narrative is the war,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have like Sergeant Johnson
Mm-hmm.
who leads the troops, and
And
I
who
don't
else
know
rush on?
Halsey who made
Halsey
the
might need.
Spartan
I don't
program
know.
again.
Halsey might need to be a foe.
I mean, she's a foe to humanity, but I mean,
But yeah, nah, I see what you're
because I'm
saying
trying.
though.
And then I guess like the arbiter gets characterized as the
Oh,
character
yeah.
who like
That's actually
resists the covenant.
that's actually fire.
Because I think you need to have, if you're going to make a force of nature character, then you have to make all of your other characterizations. This is if your force of nature is the main character, by the way. Um, I think you have to make all of your other characterizations very clear. Like in the games, you mostly love Johnson not because of who he is as a character, but because he's the guy that's like rallying the troops to support Chief every
Mm-hmm.
step of the way.
Right.
Um, I don't really care about what he's doing.
Yeah.
I just gain a sense of empathy for him because he's been with us every step of the way.
Right.
Um, so you have to have a clear degree of what the characters are supposed to represent
Yep.
because then all of that, so you have foe over top of narrative time characterization, narrative being like the the plot of what you need to happen. So in Halo it's war,
Yep.
in I don't know, Uncharted it's the adventure or the race for the adventure,
Yeah.
because it's usually like there's some bad guy that wants the same treasure and you have to race to
Yeah.
beat them.
Yeah.
Um, you take all that and then you have the exponent of delivery. So for Halo, the delivery portion comes down both in the sense that it's a video game, but in the fact that there's a ticking time clock with the Halo rings.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
well, technically, there's three because you have the Covenant invasion, you have the Halo rings, and you have Gravemind and the Flood,
Hmm.
all kind of
Right.
looming over you.
Right.
That if you fail, it's like it's GG's for literally everything else.
Yeah.
Um, so you take those elements, the foe that you need to face, the narrative by which you have to face them, the characterization that makes all the characters visible, and then you give it some type of delivery that is hyper unique. So for Chief, I wouldn't say so much in Halo 1, but for sure by Halo 2 and 3, it's the fact that he's really the last Spartan that's like going to be able
Hmm.
to do anything.
Yeah.
And so everything relies on him. That becomes the delivery because everything he does, regardless of how you feel about him as a character, becomes special.
Hmm.
He is the most elite soldier to fight the war of the narrative,
Yeah.
and he is the most distinct characterization in the story because quite literally everything else could fall on him. Oh,
Hmm.
Cortana, that's the other one. She's the voice of reason.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
That makes sense.
that's what her role is. And so when you get to Halo 3 and Johnson dies and Halsey's not a thing anymore and Cortana is getting corrupted and stuff like that, um, you get to see those things fall apart And so it makes Chief seem more human by proxy because you're now more reliant to pay attention to his character.
Yeah.
But up until that point, all of those things were working together to push him forward further in the story, the overall story that you were looking for.
Yeah.
So now every time he succeeds, you are now more reliant upon watching him to see if he can succeed again, regardless of
Mm,
the odds.
I like
That's what
that.
made the transition between Halo 2 and 3 work so well
Yeah.
because we thought Chief was dead.
Yeah.
Um and then I'm pretty sure that most people, because I kind of came in during the 2 to 3 craze, um but I'm pretty sure most people thought that the story was going to switch over to the Arbiter and that he was going to clean up like the end result of the situation, which
Mm,
could have kind of worked too because
yeah.
he was essentially the anti-chief
Yeah.
up until
Yeah.
the
Nah,
end
for
of Halo
real.
2 where he joined
Yeah.
forces.
But yeah, no, I really like that because then you're also right how they added because you're right. Everything had more weight with him because he's the last Spartan. He's everything is well the last of that generation of Spartans, and
Yeah.
everything falls on.
Well,
Well, yes. At the
yeah.
time of 3, that's what we thought.
Yeah, at the time of 3.
at
What
the
we
time,
thought.
at the time of 3, that's what it was presented to us as, or I guess we assumed it to be, because that's how they set it up. In all honesty, but you're right.
Yeah,
I have
for
to
real.
remember we do then have Halo 5, which I completely ignored when I was listening to games before. Anyway,
Yeah, I know. You said
I
1 through
said
4. I
1
was
through
just like,
4.
dang, he proudly skipped.
And I just like, oh shoot, I completely forgot about Halo 5. There's also what the Halo
Infinite.
Infinite. So, which I actually never played Halo Infinite, surprisingly.
I never played Halo Infinite
As much as the
either,
Halo fan as I am, I did not play Halo Infinite. I played it like a little
yeah.
bit, but I didn't get that far. But yeah, I legit I remembered Infinite and just didn't mention it because I hadn't played it. I legit forgot about Halo 5.
Dang.
When you were going through
That's
your
crazy.
list, I was like, oh shoot, Halo 5. So I'm
That's
sorry, Halo
crazy.
5.
So I'm gonna use this formula, right? And I'm gonna do a breakdown of my favorite Superman media.
Okay.
Superman versus the Elite. And then
Okay.
I'm gonna use it to pitch to you to watch this dang movie.
Okay.
So we have the foe, which is the Elite, which is actually a group of heroes that look up to Superman. But their idea of what heroism should be don't align with what Superman's are.
Okay.
The narrative is a turning point story of whether or not Superman's ideals really matter in the modern day or if they were just nice to think about, but now we have to become as stern as the villains that we're facing. Um, is he willing to get along with the times, or is he going to show people the extent of like what holding on to something really matters? Your characterization comes in like a lot of characters between I can't remember if Lex is even in that movie. I can't remember if Lex is in that movie. I know Atomic Skull is in there. Then there's like Lois and Jimmy and stuff like that. There's like a senator who is debating the Superman issue, but he really likes Superman. He's just making it clear that it's just like the world feels one way. So where do you stand in relation to this? And those are all characters that are like flagship characters. That's how I would say it.
Okay.
So a flagship character, I would say, is more defined by the role they play in the story instead of what they necessarily how much depth they have. They don't really need an arc because their perspective is really like A to Z. They start in one place and then by interacting with the main character they end in another place usually. But they don't really have to change too much. They just kind of have to believe and coincide with other stuff that the main character is already doing. And then you have the delivery with Superman versus the Elites delivery being a movie long debate that literally is going back and forth between who you would see as right and who you can see has a point, but is it a point that you just have to accept, or is it a point that's actually right? Um, yeah, so it kind of just kind of goes from there.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I like that formula. I feel like it works. Let's go back over this again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and this formula is for if the this is the does this work? Is this if the main character is the force of nature, or do you think this works
Yep,
even with
yeah.
them not being?
I think you have to change it a little bit if
Mm-hmm.
the main character isn't. It would probably be more delivery focused, and
Mm-hmm.
then so the exponential part, which is the delivery,
Mm-hmm.
I think you would have to move that over to the sum of the equation,
Mm-hmm.
and then you take the force of nature character and you have to multiply it by everything else on the other side, and then it works in a narrative concept.
So,
Because I think you kind of have to, if the main character isn't the force of nature, then you have to make the force of nature themselves feel relevant to everybody else,
mm-hmm.
which means that you have to kind of give everyone else more things to do.
Okay,
Um,
I got one for you. I think that
okay,
fits what you
okay.
just said. Tell me if you think I'm off based on this one. I think you'll like this one. This is more of a
Hmm.
comical one.
Okay.
A force of nature with the parameters you just said. I think Jack Sparrow.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
he's kind
yeah.
of not the main character, and everyone else
No,
has
he's
a
not,
lot of
and he
stuff to
wasn't
do,
supposed to be. Yeah.
and he's kind of just doing
Hmm.
his thing, and
Yep.
everyone else
Yeah.
is like driving that ship. I'm that ship literally, but you know what I mean. of like the
Hmm.
story. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
Because I'm a stan that the first Pirates of the Caribbean is the best one.
Oh, that's
Um.
like, is it? If it's not, it's okay. It's at least top five favorite
Hmm.
movies of all time for me. If not my
Oh,
top
dang,
three, but it's at least my top five.
dang, dang.
It's
Yeah.
high. It's
No,
high on that
that
list for
that
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that Curse of the Black Pearl
Yeah,
is
man.
that's
That's
a
yeah.
movie. Hmm.
Yeah. That's
And
like
I think it works because it's not Jack's story like every other
yeah,
movie is.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Because
point.
that
That's
is
a
really
good
Will and
point.
Elizabeth's story.
That
Like
first
the more they
one,
focused on Jack Sparrow, the more they just kind of lost the plot.
yeah.
Which I do think you're correct. That if you switch the force of nature character over, you bring delivery over. Um, because the delivery is the love story between
Mm,
Elizabeth and Will.
yeah,
The foe is Barbossa. The narrative is impacted by how Jack introduced himself, but also by the need of Barbossa and the crew to collect all the gold.
yeah.
Um,
Oh my gosh, there's so many good elements to that. That's like storytelling. Like, oh my gosh, that might be a
yep,
masterpiece. When you think about all the
yep,
different elements that was going on in that story, dang.
yep.
All right, so I feel like most of the ones, the formula, the main formula you did, kind of works for all those characters, like Master Chief, and because that's what kind of what started all this was Master Chief. If
Hmm.
you have a chance to, I guess we can end it out with this. They decided to bring Halo back. They said, "Look, we're going to do it
Hmm.
again. You just got you have the opportunity to pitch your show. What do you do? What is your pitch for a good Halo TV show?"
Make it about Reach.
Oof. You know, so I had
Yeah,
a similar thought. I like that.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Because funny enough, Reach's 20th anniversary or something like that was like Thursday, Wednesday, or Thursday or something
Oh,
like
for
that.
real? Dang, that's crazy.
Hmm.
That's my favorite Halo too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Um, but I still think Halo Reach has the best ending. Um, that mess hit me so hard.
Yep.
I
Yep.
I just
It took me
man.
forever to beat the game. because I knew it
Hmm.
was coming. I can remember
Yep.
I was like, I don't want to do it. I was like, I don't want to do it. You just get
It's
there,
it's so
man.
raw.
Oh my gosh, dang,
But yeah, I think I would do it around Halo Reach.
yeah.
Um, if that's if it were me. If it were Hollywood, I feel like they just need to bite the bullet and do an ODST story because I don't think they're gonna capture.
Nah, nah, nah,
Well, okay, you know
nah. But
what?
look,
It
no,
depends. It
we
depends on who I get,
but we're not
who
talking
I
about
get for the.
Hollywood. We're talking about what you would do. We're not. Don't worry about Hollywood. We're not talking about them.
See,
Cause
because I
look,
can't trust them with my Reach, man.
because
But
you know,
I would do some adaptation of Reach
because you
for
know
sure.
what my next pitch is gonna be to you.
What's that?
Why don't we
What you
do
trying to do?
Halo Reach
Hmm.
trailer, concept trailer, do a little
I'd be
treatment,
down.
and then
I'd be down for it.
I don't know, maybe a fan show. I don't know.
I, you know,
I don't know.
I would, I would be down for it.
Maybe like do like something super small, just like a concept, and then
Hmm.
see if we can get some traction on it and see what happens. Because I feel like that would be kind of
Yeah, I'd be down
fire.
for it.
Yeah.
I'd be down for it. I think there's enough there, and I also think that they're down to earth enough to where I think it could work.
Oh
And
man.
you gave me some thoughts. I'm on it.
Well, you heard that here first. Stay tuned. We might be getting some Halo Reach stuff coming in within the next. I don't know when we would do it, but
I was about to say, yeah, I don't know either, but we'll see what happens.
yeah, I love it. Well, I
Hmm.
appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for being here. Let the people know again where they can find you and follow you for more content because you the king,
Thank you,
you the
thank you.
man when it comes to the storytelling.
Pleasure being here. I go by Trey Venture on YouTube, TVR exclusive on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. That's TVR underscore exclusive. There you can hit me up with pretty much anything or send me um, memes or concepts or matchups or blah 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 blah. The things that you see on your Facebook feeds that you want somebody to really sit down and talk about. I'm trying to get like Classic Man D and just be able to tell y'all things about how I feel about stuff that people match up. You can catch me over at Cater Chaos every Thursday around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the YouTube channel. I'll be out there. I do stuff throughout the whole week.
And Monday Night Unite.
Yes, Monday Night Unite, where I play some Pokemon Unite. You guys seem to love it when I play that game with people, and we get a lot of people to come out. So
Yeah.
feel free to come on out and yeah, check out the channel Monday Night Unite. Play games on it. Yeah,
Yes, sir. I'm usually up there on Mondays as well playing with them, so it's always a lot of fun.
that's
But
right.
yeah.
True, true.
But that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content like this, be sure you leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, peace.